Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another Monday night here at Proficiency Bonus, and we met in a tavern. My name is Matthew. I am your...
Can hear you, sorry.
Said who?
We
I
can
just
hear
wanted
you.
to Oh, I should have pinged you. I'm so sorry. I can hear us.
Oh, no, that's okay. Can you hear you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, folks.
I didn't know where to ping you at.
No, we wanted to make sure because we had someone advise us we had some audio issues last week, and we really don't know when they started. So I want to make sure we caught it right at the beginning to double check and make sure that you could hear. Apparently they could hear me, but not our players. So apparently we got that fixed with Streamlabs and Twitch. So thanks to their troubleshooting sites for the stuff I went through, going through that this week to make sure we get everything up and running. A couple of other quick shout-outs we have is Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Go at ! Little Dragon and ! CCG. Give you a little information on both of them. For Little Dragon, if you when placing your order on their website, you can use the discount code PROBONUS. Get 10% off your order, and they ship anywhere in the world. For Cardboard Castle Games, they are located in Evans, Georgia. They are a mere 45 minutes to an hour south of me, a lot closer to my buddy Michael. But if you go in there and say, hey, I'm a fan of Proficiency Bonus, you can get 10% off your purchases there as well. So definitely go check them out if you happen to be in the I'll say southern South Carolina area, or northern Georgia is probably the closest areas for you to hit Cardboard Castle Games. But they've got a link to their website as well, so you can check them out and see if you're a little further out, check and see what they've got. It's probably going to be worth your trip. We love them down there. So with that, we'll jump into our story so far. Our party has finally gotten to Baldur's Gate. They've spent the last day here after their friend Murdoch was able to convince her boss, Jericho, aka, Lord knows how many names this person has, but we're pretty sure none of them are real. But Jericho got them to Baldur's Gate. Murdoch gave them a very brief sort of verbal tour as they were making their way towards their inn they were going to be staying at, which was the Blades and Stars. Murdoch said, okay, I've got to swing by the office, and sort of peeled off from the group to go take care of some things at the office before handling some business and meeting up with everyone for late lunch or early dinner later on in the day. So we are actually picking up with Murdoch, who is arrived in the office, had a few conversations with her aide, Farticus, and has just been handed a rolled up parchment that Murdoch had started to unroll, and she sort of pulled it down and started separating it, she saw the first thing that jumped out at her down at the bottom was a name that she has heard some of her traveling companions mention, and is probably mentioned somewhere in Furia's notes. Master of Past and Present.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I had to apologize to Murdoch today, as I completely forgot after last week's stream to send Murdoch the letter. As I pulled up and put over my notes for tonight, I went, oh shit. So, Murdoch, as you unroll this, and unfortunately I could not load it into Roll20, as apparently I'm out of space.
Roll20.
So Murdoch, as you sort of throw it open and start reading through it, it's addressed directly to you. You read it. Murdoch, I am pleased to see you have finally made your way back to the office after your harrowing journey. All the trials and tribulations you went through to save her and bring her back home. And at such a great cost. Are you certain it was worth the cost? And how do you think Gondnok will take this defeat? I assure you he is not waiting. Plans are in motion. I would ensure you and your allies are prepared for what is coming your way. I'm certain you have figured out how they're watching you by this time, so I'd recommend not having any sensitive conversations in its presence. Until we meet face to face. Master of the Past and Present.
She kind of thumbs over this, and as she gets to the bottom, she sort of has a quick moment to herself. I'm going to need to talk to Artemis. Rolls that up, puts that in my satchel, goes through my personal effects, whatever I may have. I like to think that if she has a bedroom, it may be even attached to the office or it's upstairs in this building.
Sure.
And she'll go up. She's probably got like a little tiny shrine to Bahamut and probably either like some jewelry or like little portraits of her mums on like a little shelf. She's going to take she's going to take a little jar. She's going to take the necklace with Snow Moon's ashes. And she's going to take a little bit of Snow Moon's ashes, put it in the jar, and she's going to put it on the shelf with the pictures of her mothers. Even if you had no clan, Snow Moon, they would have accepted you. Gives it a little pat. Well, no time for sentimentality, Murdoch. You have work to do. You need to go check on everyone in the neighborhood. So she basically like goes in her room, does like a little thing, and then she probably goes through the whole process. She takes off her coat, puts it on a little coat rack, is there for like 60 seconds, 90 seconds tops, puts the coat back on, puts the bag back on, and is right back out. And just as she's passing, she's like, "You know what to do with that coin. I told you."
Yes, of course. I will take care of it.
Thank you, dear. I'm going to be having dinner with some friends tonight, so if you would like to take a small bonus, take 2 weeks' pay. Get yourself something nice. Get something nice for your mother. Get something nice for your brother.
Are you sure?
I'm most certainly sure. You've done good to keep this place standing in the time that I've been away. You deserve it.
Thank you. See, just smile lights up, and you can see the wheels already starting to turn.
All right. She is going to go out. She's going to basically be going, I don't want to say door to door, but essentially door to door. She's going to check on all of her neighbors and all the people in her neighborhood, see like how, if any of them have had, if I've helped them with any cases with the Flaming Fist and things like that, you know, checking up on everyone, seeing what everyone in my community needs, letting them know that I'm back, at least for some time, and I'm wanting to continue my work while I'm here. And also, I will go out to the wide. I will buy some food. I'll bring it to some of the more the less affluent families, like get them some fresh bread, things like that. So just nice things.
Okay. Do me a favor. Go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
I can do that. I'm not going to use physical dice because they're slightly too far away. 21?
Okay. So, let's see here. So as you are sort of, running around and taking care of these, basically your little to-do list are in town, you do notice one thing. As you're sort of making your way back from the wide, you've got your different foods and whatnot. You do notice that there is a single person. Looks to be and it stands out to you as you can tell very obviously from just the way the hair is sort of styled and pulled back and the point to the ears that this person is of elven descent. But they are more heavily have a heavier musculature than you're used to seeing most elves. Wearing very colorful clothes. And I'm not talking dye. It's like everything is just one sleeve is like bright orange. The central piece of the jacket is like a lime green. The other is like a fuchsia. It's just mismatched fabrics thrown together. It's
I've gone to Pride.
Yeah.
not where I was going with that one, but
No, yeah.
as you're walking up there, you can hear he is whistling horribly out of tune and is actually staring at a home that you had knocked at the door about 10-15 minutes ago on your way by to check in on a family that you had helped out owing some fines to the Flaming Fist for traveling between wards without a writ. Nothing major, but there hadn't been anyone at home and you continued on your... As you're coming back, though, you can see this person. They just weren't readily visible going the opposite direction. And you can see them sitting there and starting to hear the whistling, but they are just staring at the house.
Pardon me, sir. Hello?
Yeah? Hi.
Hello. My name is Murdoch. This is my law office, just a little bit down the street. I see that. Are you waiting outside for anyone? I've helped these people before. I believe they're home. You can go give a knock.
He sort of looks down a little bit. Are they like me? Are they elves? And you would know these are not. This is not an elven household. I was told these people are elves.
No, sir. I'm afraid one human and one halfling, I believe. You know, they modern couples.
I was told there were more my kind here. Well, it's time to keep looking.
I believe perhaps Baldur's Gate is a very diverse place, sir. Is there a particular is there something that you need help with? I have a friend, well, half elven.
He sort of looks.
No, you're full elven.
What else?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of other friends that are half elves. I have a friend who is elvish. Is there a particular reason why you're looking for a fellow elf?
He sort of looks around a little conspiratorially, and I'd have you roll a persuasion check, but given what he rolled, there is no purpose. You couldn't roll that low if you tried. He looks back and forth a little bit, leans in. I told when I came in through the gate and had to pay them nice men with the hand on them, on the bridges.
The Flaming Fists.
Yeah,
yes.
I said I was looking for a friend of mine who I thought may have gotten into some trouble, and he told me to come down this neck of the woods.
Well, I know most of the people up and down the street. What is your friend's name, sir?
Oh, no, my Aloro.
Come again?
Aloro.
Laura. Is that a familiar sounding name?
You would recognize the name. There was a family who was, we'll call it renting and staying in one of these houses probably been a part of 4 or 5 months ago. But you haven't heard hide nor hair of them in quite a while.
Apologies, sir. I believe perhaps there were some people that were staying here for a time of that name, but they've since moved on to where I'm not quite sure, I'm afraid.
That's our way. We tend to keep moving. Oh,
Well,
I appreciate your help. Let me give you a token of help. And he goes into his find and pulls out a single copper and hands out the copper coin to you.
of course. Thank you. I'll like put it. I'll put it in my coat pocket. If you want, I wouldn't ask the Flaming Fist. You could perhaps instead try some of the sailors at the docks. Perhaps maybe they chartered a ship.
I like that
Though,
idea.
to be quite honest, most people are probably not going to tell you anything without flashing a bit of coin to them. I will reach in. He's given me a copper, and I'm going to reach in. I'm going to give him 10 gold.
You just see the eyes go wide. Are you sure, Mom?
I am a lawyer. Just don't worry about it. I get paid plenty fine for the work that I do. You know, being a lawyer. There's a lot of law issues that happen in this city. I'm never want for work. Ask around the docks. Some sailors. Find trustworthy men. And maybe a little bit of coin, and maybe they might be able to tell you something about where your friends have gone. I do hope that you find them.
Thank you. He reaches out, grabs hold of your hand, and thank you, and takes off and literally immediately turns and starts running.
What a delightfully queer fellow. Alright, I need to figure out where my friends are. They could probably be wandering anywhere in these streets by now. I'm going to cast a sending spell to Lydia.
Oh, okay. Real quick, make a perception check.
I'm going to do a perception check before I waste a spell. 17.
Oh, okay. So as you watch as this individual starts taking off from the little street that you were passing by, you know, as it gets down to the end, and when you're expecting him to turn left to head down towards the docks, turns right. Seems to be running off a different direction.
I take out that copper piece again, and I just give it a little look over. Is it just a regular copper piece?
As you sort of rub your finger over it, seems to be painted or colored. It doesn't seem to be real.
Swindled again. I missed this city. Alright. Going to cast Ascending Spell to Lydia. Lydia, dear, I've finished with most of my business for the day. Where have you all found yourselves, so that I may regroup?
What time of day is it, DM? Closer to our lunchtime or closer to our shopping in the wide?
So at this point, as Murdoch sort of did their own shopping, has been checking with people on the street, you guys are probably just getting back to... You guys are all probably gathered back at the inn at this point.
Okay. Blade and starters right now, Murdoch. Do you want us to set up a pot of tea for you?
I'll cast another sending spell. Yes, Lydia dear, that would be very nice indeed. I'll be there soon. Do you need me to bring anything?
Right, pot of tea. Do you guys need it? Bring any? No, no, we're good. Thanks, Murdoch. See you soon.
All right. 2 third-level spells to have a talk on the cell phone. I will make my way back to the inn.
Okay. And yeah, hearing that, for the rest of you, Sarah gets up immediately hearing that Murdoch's coming in and the pot of tea. He's going to go start taking care of that. You're just, oh, pot of tea? Okay. And gets up and wanders back off to the kitchen. Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes goes by as the rest of you have been sort of sitting there, and again, some of you have been eating. And Lydia, as you have started to make your way back over, those couple of that nice carafe of wine was brought over. Murdoch, you find yourself entering in as Sarah is returning with a pot of tea and sets it down on the table. As you can see Lydia holding up a glass of wine.
Thank you, dear.
Fine.
How's everyone's first day in the city been?
Interesting.
Stayed out of trouble mostly?
Mostly, actually.
Good, I'm proud. Well, it's pretty much as I've left it, which is to say, with much work to always be done, but good people if you know where to look.
Do you want me to write up a contract, or can I just say I wrote a contract?
It doesn't bother me any.
I wrote up this contract between myself and the inn that we're staying at, and I want you to look it over. It just says that once a week they'll feed, I think it was feed and give baths to about nine people that I give a writ to, kind of like a coupon voucher to.
Oh. You know, Lydia, for
Now I
one
don't
of
want
your
anything to happen to my body or soul this time.
most of the time, clauses like that do not need to be included in every contract. I think for a starter out, this is a good deal.
All
I'm
right.
proud of you.
Thank you. Just have it once over while you drink your tea, and
Hmm.
we'll all drink this wine and. Yes.
All right. Anything else of note? I left you alone for a few hours.
Well, we came across a somewhat shady weapons dealer. Avoided buying a shady axe. But, I mean, I got some stuff for spells, and we equipped ourselves. I think Lydia got some armor.
We get some armor. Very shiny now.
Got a weird book from some weird people. I should take a look at that.
What kind of books?
What kind of books?
Or book?
That's right.
You
I
usually
did
get more than one book.
I did get a few books. The one that is let me. I'll pull out the one that out of character. I know what, but yeah. But anyways, the one that they had to like unlock a little.
Oh, the one that was
Compartment
wrapped.
and give-
The one that was wrapped in the rabbit skin.
Yes, that was it.
Yep.
I got this. I asked if they had any spooky books, and they gave me this.
Spooky.
Oh, yeah, like you know, like a infernal or abyssal, you know, spooky things.
An interest in this art to like learn spooky stuff.
I'm not quite sure, actually.
I mean, I don't judge you that way, but it just seems like a bit of an odd hobby to have, to always be looking up this infernal and stuff.
It started out as a bit of like an interest, and then once we met Melee Bailey,
Oof.
yeah,
Mealy Bailey, yes.
I just kind of want to know more. It seems so overarching, and that sort of well of knowledge is interesting to me.
Just because it may be knowledge pertaining to creatures that are not necessarily what one would say are good, does not mean that it is unuseful knowledge. Much like Studying how best to stab someone with a sword is not knowledge that is necessarily good, but it is still useful.
I'm kind of happy to hear you say that, because I was kind of scared that you would be like, no, that is bad, Artemis. You should not be doing that.
If I am going to be able to stand up against these sorts of creatures in their own courts of law, where normally they are in charge, I need to know how their society works inside and out. Know thine
Touche.
enemy.
Also, Sarah is different.
She has
It's
been
not in
rather.
a good way.
She has been rather quiet.
And Sarah will look over at you, Murdoch, and I went shopping. I bought fish.
Oh dear.
And seasonings. And eggs.
Disconcerting when you say it
We-
like that.
We tried like healing and stuff, and
Speaking
it didn't
of-
work. So we decided we should seek out a cleric of some sort to help us out. Although it is kind of nice she's not always getting into trouble.
That is the nice part.
But it is rather bland at the same time, and I kind of do want her back, but also kind of don't. I
Yeah,
know.
we can't just leave her like this. She's like, her whole personality's been.
You don't
wiped
know
out.
her, Rose. You don't know her madness.
All right.
It can't be as bad as wiping out her whole personality.
No, but it's definitely not.
I
No, but it's
Definitely
pretty bad.
chaotic aligned.
I don't
So real
necessarily.
quick for
yes.
Sigma, you just got outed to Murdoch as being a little, off.
I don't know if this is something that requires a healer, and I also don't know if so, if Baldur's Gate is necessarily the most respectable of places to find one. There's wonderful churches here, but it's not what I would say paramount of magical restoration. Sooner to be corrupted rather than. Anyway, that is
we-
something for another day.
We figured out that what we can do is not going to help. Where it's out of our depth. Unless it just gets better on our own.
Well, I'm going to assume it was some lasting impact with that artifact. Speaking of artifacts, Artemis, do you have the with you?
Yours, not the other one.
Yes. Wait. I have
Could-
3.
No, the one like what Sarah got into.
That one. Yes.
Could you humor me for a moment and just put it in my bag for just a moment?
Okay. I'll kind of like get off of their seat and just kind of like heave hand.
Just like a bowling bag. Once it's in there, Murdoch is going to produce the scroll that had been left. This was left at my office by a master of past and present.
Oh, lovely. Any helpfulness or just more questions?
I'll take it as a very respectful warning. Artemis, maybe you should just, and I unroll it for you. How it basically said, I believe this gentleman, this this man mentioned here might be the one that was insisting on you doing that trial. And I believe that this might be something that is allowing him to look in on us. Because you've been carrying it with you. Possibly.
It
Right.
could be, since we found it before we met. You know, we were told about all of this. Or Art found it.
I just tossed it in the Roll20 chat as well, so people can actually see the verbiage being laid out in front of you now.
So, I don't necessarily know if this is good. I don't think we can prevent it at this point. I think that there are other ways that one could be looked down upon. But,
What about that ring?
oh, I take the ring off. I totally forgot. Dylan actually forgot that I'm still wearing it here. Very good, Furia. I'm going to take it off of my finger, which I don't know if that automatically breaks my attunement to it.
Nope.
I'll put that in the bag. I have to use its abilities, I'll have to wear it, but I can still be attuned to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless someone else takes it and attunes to it, that would break yours, but...
Okay. But, well, I don't know what measures can be taken to prevent us from having to deal with that individual again. If it's true that he can just traverse these plains, then we will probably have to encounter him at some point.
Would you be able to do something like Melee Bailey was able to do to see if anything is watching us that way, Art? Were you there when that happened? I don't remember if you were in the group that had that happen or not.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I can't recall off the top of my head either.
I know it was myself and Lydia,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Jack, but I'm pretty sure we told Art about it after the fact.
No, I think that was... I think Art was there, because I think that was when y'all first met her.
It was after we started the fire. And we were running away, and Jack got the premonition that something was going down with that trident thing that we picked up.
Yeah,
Plus the
the staff.
it was an eye. Yeah. The staff, and then there was the eye that Melee Bailey got rid of for us. And, you know, saw Lydia without her shirt on and
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, weirdly enough, that is the thing that sticks out most in my mind.
Huh.
yeah, that's when that all happened.
Yeah, I
Wait,
guess
what's
I
that?
was there then. Oh. Oopsie daisy.
And Art, to answer your question, yes.
Yeah.
Well, can you do that? There might be something like that around.
Would I have seen it using during any of my castings of detect magic? Would I have been able to see something like that? Is that a thing?
Let me see. I'm not sure. Okay. Apparently, yes. A scrying
Okay.
sensor can be sensed with detect magic. So
Huh.
good to know.
You just have to know that it's there to want to look at.
Right, you'd have to cast detect magic, and if somebody happens to be watching you at that moment, you would be aware of it.
Okay.
I mean, 24 hours a day. You can do
Yeah,
it
I
in 10
haven't-
minutes. So, 24 times 6. moments.
I mean, I have cast it before around not today though, because I cast it around the arcane sword cellar weapons booth. I didn't cast to see the books or anything that Art had bought them.
I mean, I can cast, like, I can try and detect as well.
Well, I mean, maybe pull it out once in a while and just see if anybody's watching anybody. You never know, it's happened before.
I'll cast it.
All of a sudden.
Right now.
Catch the unawares!
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Nice! Okay. 22.
Okay.
I could also scry back.
So-
But I would need that orb back.
We're not sure who would be watching exactly, though. That's the problem.
As you cast this and start, wildly start looking around, you glance up and you see a glowing orb sitting above the table. Pulsing with this slow energy, showing it is divination magic. And as you look up and your eyes go wide, it immediately flips out, disappears.
Ugh. Well, there was something. Just now, not anymore, but
There's
there was a glowy
something.
just kind of hanging out above us.
What, it was like watching us or listening to us?
Perhaps it seemed to skedaddle once I'd looked at it.
Well, now they know that we know, but we know that they know. So I think we're even.
But
It was already a rule, but now I'm going to double down on the we do not leave Artemis alone.
It might not just be art.
No one is alone.
I mean, are we all sleeping in one room then?
No.
Okay.
Well, no.
Lydia is a little large for that. As well, I mean,
Oh,
You know.
big
you,
boned.
yeah, you're tall.
That's rude. So
Tall.
automatically assumed that my feelings are hurt, Pyrrha.
I totally understand. My shoulders are incredibly wide, actually. It's
Thought
hard
they
to
were
find
shoulder
suits.
pads from your power suits. To be honest,
They make me feel powerful.
they make you look powerful too.
Thank
You're welcome.
you. But
Also, I'm not sure. Is Gondnok your grandparents' art? Or somebody from Kryn? I don't remember.
I think it's one of the.
One of the
it's
head wizards
dude.
from.
Yeah, that was like one of the people that would be heading the trial.
All right. Well,
So,
at least it's not.
You were given 3 names
Directly.
of the heads. Parcelon,
Oh, right.
LaDonna, and Justarius.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Art,
yeah,
you
I
would
see.
know that is not the name of either of your
No.
grandparents. The only other names of people that you that you interacted with while you were in your other realmly visit that were specifically involved with magic in any way was the mistress at the magic store, Mistress Jenna, and her consort, Dalamar the Dark.
Yeah, the nice wizard lady who I thought was nice, and then she sent a crony after me.
So who would
I'm
consider
assuming
this a defeat?
has to do with Art's grandparents because it's following the,
Making
saving your mom. So maybe ahead of their order, head of the kerfuffle that your family's in. That's just guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe it could be somebody from one of the orders of the robes for the trials. I mean, even if they're not the leader of.
Why are they? I hope they're not still chasing me down, though. I left that reality.
Did your mother mention whether or not she took the trial?
I don't think
She's a powerful
said, but I
spellcaster.
don't think she did. I don't think she left the mountain.
Right. Yes.
So perhaps maybe she just learned most of her magic here.
Oh, before she got sent back? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I
I
don't
was
know.
thinking in her youth, if she had taken the trial. She knew of it, but it seems that a lot of people do. I don't know.
I can go and ask her.
Maybe also ask her if she knows this person. It's probably related to you or her somehow. Not, I mean, family-wise, but maybe family-wise.
I guess if that's one of the leads that we have, at least. Try it out.
Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt. Somebody is clearly watching or listening.
Well, this is not the city for someone from some other world to try and stir things up. So I think, in a strange way, the unsafetyness of Baldur's Gate shall be our protection. The city doesn't have necessarily a good track record with extraplanar welcoming.
So that's where you get it from. That's what you do, right?
That is very true. I would believe that any good local Baldurian would probably have some of the same sentiment if they know the city's history. But I was recruited due to the work that I had already been doing in the city, and I was asked if I wanted to do it on a larger scale. But you don't need to hear. No one needs to hear about my youth and my early days in law. So long ago. Well, comparatively, by my lifespan. Let's how much longer is everyone considering staying? I mean, I will never be done with my work here, but I don't want to keep everyone from Candlekeep for too long.
We still have to find something to bring to Candlekeep, so we've got...
No,
Oh, sorry.
what's his name from
Oh,
Daggerford gave us something.
Right, I forgot about that.
When
Hopefully
we
it
told
will
him
be-
we would be going. Hopefully it'll be enough, but
That's what I was thinking. Hopefully it would be enough for all of us. I didn't know we each needed.
I mean, Artemis has collected quite an extensive bit of esoterica, so not
Is
that
there-
I think you'd be willing to part with it.
Anything more we should grab here before we leave? I don't even know what stuff exactly they're
Well,
looking
even
for.
I have a book or something that were left for me at the house. And actually, thinking of books, Art, there are the 2 books about changelings that we never actually got around to read that Sarah managed to steal from that library.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe you have some reading to do.
I suppose I do.
Not that you need more.
Yeah, which other books did you get there, Art?
Well, there's this one, and I slide like the book with the fur on it. Then there was these weird books that a mysterious old guy donated. There's a whole bunch of ways that you could take that. I haven't looked at them yet. I'll put them on the table.
How are you putting the one wrapped in the rabbit fur? Like, is it still basically all completely wrapped, or are you taking the wrapping off of it?
No, I like take the wrap and kind of like sandwiched. I like put it on the table.
We've got 2 books and something wrapped up in fur.
I think I'll try to snatch up the waterlogged book, or previously waterlogged book.
I will say, when I got that book with the fur on it, they said that it was just like really super easy to do his bidding. So I'm kind of like a little bit weirded out by it looking at that book. Maybe not. Eventually, when we're not being chased by something, good. Right off the bat.
Alright. Fair.
Who has the book, like with the changeling stuff?
You had it.
Do I have it, or?
I thought you had like a bunch of books.
It
Yeah, I
may
think-
be back at the house, too.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if they
dropped.
dropped it off, but I mean, Sarah had it or took it from the library in the first place.
That was a long time ago. You guys were still on the ship back then.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I'll
trying
look
to
at
check
the-
my inventory.
I'll look at the other book that Art has.
Which one? The one with the fur, or the one that was covered in slime?
book
Aw.
with the fur, with the fur.
There's one with fine, the one with the fur, but I'll keep the fur on it. I won't touch the actual book or something. I'll just kind of flip it open real quick and just give it a once over.
Well, as you're starting to sort of move the fur, the first thing you notice on the front of it, make a religion check,
Okay. That's fair.
as there is a rather large symbol embossed right on the front cover.
Where's my green D20? There we go. 13 plus religion 3, so 16.
So 16. You've heard of this. You're not overly familiar with it. But this is the symbol of the Beast of Butchery. Also known as Yinagu, the Demon Lord of Knolls.
I'll kind of close it and I'll be like, that one, and I'll kind of push it farther away from me with my finger. I'll be like, that one's kind of, not the best to read in, mixed spaces perhaps. It's about the Beast of Butchery for Knolls. Not the,
Beast debauchery?
no, Beast of Butchery. Beast of Butchery.
Oh,
Tree.
I was worried that there was some incredibly deplorable author out there.
There are, but
Okay.
just be careful. Find someone.
I've completely forgotten the plot.
We need like a technical difficulties like overlay, just to like cut to for a couple moments.
It just has to be a picture of the 6 of you, which just like cracks through each one of you. Our players are broken.
Appropriate.
Ah!
Please bear with us.
Okay. Well, like I said, I of course would like to get to work in my home for a bit, but I understand that Candlekeep is important. I could.
Wait a little while to go to Candlekeep. I'm not itching to go anywhere anytime soon, so if you want some time here, Murdoch, I understand.
All
I
right.
do have some business. Probably better tomorrow. That wine made me feel a little bit weird, and but
That's delicious.
oh, it's really good. It's just might not be the best for what I have in mind, but I do need to talk to you still, Murdoch, about it.
Yes, I know. We had. Gosh, I feel like we've been talking about this talk for a while. There was just the whole nature of getting back to our home.
It wasn't the most important thing anymore. For a while, anyway.
Alright. Well, I do not have a room here, but perhaps I should get one if I want to follow my own rule of no one is alone. Jericho
Company
has.
back to your room if you want, Murdoch, and just sit tight with you there if it's got room. If you want it to be in your own quarters.
Of course. You could meet my wonderful assistant, whose name I know is goofy, but I'm forgetting what it is right now.
I think it's Farticus.
Fartigus. Yeah. Yes. He. No matter how many times I want to refer to him by his first name, he insists that I refer to him by the family name, of which he's very proud.
Murdoch, we got 3 rooms here, so we'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, also, we heard a rumor about a ship that apparently comes every in 2 days.
Yeah.
New moon shows up, docks, doesn't take anybody on, nobody leaves, has black sails or ashy sails, and a curiously colored mahogany hull, and then leaves before dawn again.
Is
And I
this...
believe it looks like
Oh, and there was open
it's
fires
called
on
the
the ship.
Burning Saber. Burning Saber.
So, that's some curiosity we might go check out in a couple days. Reason to stick around Baldur's Gate.
Is that like kind of like a local legend that's been around for a while, or is this new to me?
So it's something that every once in a while, when you would travel down by the docks, you'd hear sailors talking about it. But it was one of those. It was a sailor's tale. No one in the Flaming Fist, no one in Baldur's Gate ever really gave it any real concern, because it was only ever sailors that claimed they saw it, and nobody ever disappeared, and like there was no new stuff dropped off. There was like nothing seemed to happen. It just, oh, it's here and it's gone. It's like somebody walked up to your window and then left.
I haven't heard about that story in quite some time. Before I would have counted myself as an adventurer, most definitely, so it never really crossed my mind, but I will admit it does sound rather fun.
Yeah, we heard some guards actually speaking about it.
Truly? Members of the Flaming Fist? Or some of the guards of the upper wards?
I don't know where we were. We were on our way down to the docks when we heard
Yeah.
it, but it wasn't sailors.
I think it was Flaming Fish.
Yeah, it was the Flaming Fist. Yeah.
Interesting. They normally for years have denied anything of it. Or at least... Well, they never did anything about it, but that's not really saying much. Okay. Well, then it sounds like perhaps a few days home is, not going to inconvenience anyone. I'm full glad of it.
And
Good.
especially if you're saying that we're safer in here with all this scrying afoot.
I think that a city is definitely better off rather than a carriage out in the middle of the woods and mist.
Well, apparently there's also people out after Sarah. So,
Yes,
you know, right before we got whisked away, there was that group.
I did divert them.
Right, but
Sarah, you haven't said a single word all dinner. What are you? How are you doing, dear?
This fish is good.
See, I told you. She's just.
it's almost like there's nobody home. It's just like,
Placency.
I'll like reach out and wave my hand like in front of Sarah's face.
She's alive, Snowmoon. You can see.
That's not Snowmoon.
Or, not Snowmoon, sorry, Rose. You're
I
blurry.
know,
It's hard to tell.
Oh no!
Oh my
Oh! We've been really good about not doing that.
I'm so sorry, guys. I did that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Christ!
I'm sorry.
No, that was pretty good.
Cries into my tea. Single tear.
Right? She's just straight faced, but there's just
Oh,
One tear.
No reaction,
Get
but
back in.
somewhere in the back of the brain, you just broke
Oh.
that little tiny piece of Sarah that
Oh,
isn't
no.
trapped.
all right.
Well,
crap.
Well,
Well, there goes that idea.
all right. Yes, maybe perhaps that is we can add getting some help with that to the list of Candlekeep tasks. Maybe they've written something of it.
I will ask my mother if she's heard of this person and if she's taken the pest when she was younger or things of that matter.
Hmm.
If you're going a separate way, though, Murdoch, can I have that orb back?
Since you are informed of the possibilities, of course. will
Can I
take
poke at the slimy book before? I just want to poke at the slimy book because it's fascinating to me.
It's strange. The majority of the book is dry, but as you sort of poke into it, and again, you just sort of push down on it a little bit, your tip of your finger gets a little moist.
Yeah,
blue black book.
that's not.
Ooh, black.
not right.
Ooh,
Gotta-
book lick.
Yep.
Yeah, lick the book.
Book
No.
lick.
A
No.
little
this
swine
have a
never
name
hurt
on it?
anybody, Lydia.
A name on it?
Yeah.
Check. Do not believe this one did. The waterlog book did. Well, it's
yeah,
not
I
named.
picked up the waterlogged one. You know, once the conversation dies, then I'll
Yeah.
give it a quick flip through or read if there's only a couple pages available.
A memoir by Jubilex.
Oh yeah, true. Ha ha ha.
Where did
Weeblux. Jublux.
Gotta find my notes. I will dig it up. It's a genealogy book. I just can't find it in my notes right now.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, that's
no,
what,
the
like, the
waterlogged
title-
book is the genealogy book. But yeah, I'll grab the other stuff. Yeah, I can get that over to you right afterwards. I just can't find it in my notes.
I was just curious what they were.
Yeah,
Rush.
the slimy book you had. No one's really taking much time with that. If you want, you can take it with you. Try to read up on it if Artemis will let you. But
Can I look at it's? Oh, can I look at this book that I don't like physically?
I have interesting request. Yes.
It
Perhaps.
physically repulses me, but I want to look at it all the same. If it's okay to you. Gonna get some Kleenex for that.
That's how I feel with most spooky books.
What's a Kleenex?
It's like a sailor's tissue.
It's like a kerchief.
Why don't you just call it a kerchief? It's
'Cause
kind of weird name. Kleenex. It's like
It's a
I mean,
sailor
cleave,
thing.
cleave-nex.
I mean, it has the word clean in it, which I think is much more befitting.
But it's not spelled correctly.
What?
I think it would be. I know it doesn't. Sailor
Well, now
stuff.
it's
doesn't,
stupid.
I know. Doesn't make sense. Sailor stuff.
All right. Murdoch will finish her meal. I think she's going to relax with the party and then go home eventually when everyone is getting ready for bed. That's
Okay.
I'm just gonna relax. I deserve it. I died a month ago.
You do.
Anyone else doing anything this evening before you all turn in?
I would, take a look at that book. And as Murdoch gets up to leave, I'll be like, first thing tomorrow, write it down, make an appointment. We need to do that.
You're speaking my language. Yes, I will not miss it.
I'd like to go to bed without causing any issue whatsoever for my party.
That's absolutely unheard of. There must be some upheaval.
You know how it's like you never know, like, what you miss until it's gone?
She's not as fun like this.
Sigma's like, I could just sit here and, like,
I'm
read.
Dude, I'm like, I'm gonna file some taxes, crochet something.
Yeah, Sarah gets up. Good evening. Good night. Good night. Good evening. Good evening. Good night. Good night.
Guess starch my slacks.
We need to fix that as soon as possible.
That's what I'm saying. After I ask my mom about some things, I'm gonna go do that. I'll carefully grab the book with the fur, and go upstairs to ask my mom some things. Mom.
Everybody is
Okay.
looking for her.
Uh,
She left the plane. She left the plane.
Oh.
Yeah, as you go up, she's just relaxing. She's sitting there, seems to have a small book out, and she seems to be writing in it.
Just kind of like knock on the side of the the door.
Yes, dear. Yes, how can I help?
This is going to be a lot of information in a short time, but I guess us gnomes are kind of known for that. So apparently we might be getting scryed on by something or someone by the name of, let me check my memory, Gondnock? Do you know that name?
She squints her eyes for a minute. Thanks, Mom. Oh, I've never heard it before. A friend of yours?
I don't think so. Quite the opposite, I think. I guess they seem very upset that we took you away. Did you take the test when you were younger? The magic?
Oh, but of course, it was a requirement.
Hey.
My test was presided over by the heads of the 3 groups.
Have the heads of the groups changed before?
They do when they pass, but I mean, assuming that the only one who'd really be at risk of passing And well, that I would think of would be LaDonna, the woman in the head of the Black Robes. As she's a human, they are rather short-lived, but not quite sure what Pascalion is, but he was ancient when I took the test, and he's still around, so...
Okay. Alright, well. Thank you. I don't know why they're doing this.
She closes the book and comes walking over and reaches down and sort of puts her arm around your shoulder a little bit. But, dear, are you sure they're looking for you? I mean, you do travel with quite the camaraderie.
I mean, why would they pursue me if I'm out of that place? I don't pose a risk in a place where there's no more requirements.
Well, at the same point, you got there once, you could return. So there is potential risk there, but again, that is still assuming that they are looking for you.
I mean, I'd rather them be looking for me than for you. I don't know. I'm scared that that keeping you with us is going to just bring harm to you, and I know I just found you and we're back, but I don't know what to do.
She smiles a little bit and she goes over and opens a book, and you can see she's starting to write and starting to fill back out her spell book. With what you purchased for me for components, I've been able to start, well, at least those that I had committed to my memory.
Oh, okay. Do you want some money for some spells and things? I can get some money. We have a bit.
She smiles a little bit. Artemis, it is our job to be caring for you. But that being said, do not know whether or not my old spellbook exists. If you are willing to procure certain scrolls and the like, I would not say no to being able to add them to my repertoire.
Art's just vigorously nodding.
Yes, of course. I can procure some coin, and maybe we could just sit down and make a list, and I can go and get some stuff for you.
She reaches down and just sort of gives you a very tight, just pulls you in for a hug. It is wonderful to be home again. And
I'm happy you're here again.
just be careful, dear. As I said, I am not convinced that they are looking for you. This name is meaningless to me. Perhaps one of your other friends is hiding something from you.
That's pretty terrifying too. But I guess I will ask around.
You told me about how the small one, the Kendo, was rather crazy before, but the one, she seems very demure, almost clockwork.
Oh, I got the wrong person assumed.
Yeah, it happened after when I fell asleep that one time and all of us got pulled into her head. Sort of. It's... Oh boy. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, Mother. I'll still go and get you spell components and coin and things like that, but... excuse me for a moment?
Of course.
And they'll, like, run down the hallway and back downstairs. Is anybody still at the table?
Probably.
It looks like really only you and Sarah had sort of separated at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drinking goes late. Hanging out with friends.
I just went upstairs to hang out with my mom. Anyways,
Ba-dum-ts.
hi, guys. I don't think it's my mother or me.
Then who?
What? Oh, that thing following us.
Yeah, I think it's, Sarah.
Oh, well,
Mm.
that might explain why she's behaving the way she is, possibly.
You thinking it
We
was
might have,
the dragon?
or someone working with, for, or...
I mean, it says defeat in the note, and if we're taking this literally, that's really the only thing we defeated in
We
terms
also
of Sarah.
kaboomed the crystal orb.
I mean, so what do we do next? I mean,
Unless it's someone else. But, nobody knows that name?
no.
Would find it to defeat. Was it the dragon?
That's what I just said. Are you
Yep.
sure you're drinking
I'm-
too much?
I'm
Pull that glass
sorry.
of wine away from Murdoch.
I'm sorry. Maybe I have been. Did you?
Rose,
really?
wave your hand in
My
front of her
goodness.
face.
Murdoch?
No,
Murdoch, Rose is
I get deep in
blurry.
thought.
Are you in there?
I get deep in thought while pondering over wine, and then I refill the wine, and then
Bottle's gone.
One bottle of wine is all it takes?
Oh, snap.
listen, Rose and Rose. Okay, maybe I am a little bit sloshed. Oh dear,
So dragon,
dragon.
or cause we left the orb. If it was the dragon, we left the orb where it was. We didn't take the orb itself.
Didn't we break the orb in the dream?
The dragon never seemed interested in the orb. It seemed interested in taking people.
Oh, that dragon. I don't think I was there for that dragon. Okay.
No, I don't believe you were. But no,
the big
I
shadow
remember-
dragon in the tree.
Yeah, I was confused.
I
Okay.
remember the dragon going into Sarah's head right before the world went black and I woke up. Do you all remember that?
Oh.
I don't remember what I had for dinner with you all. I'm a little.
Wait, a dark dragon went into Sarah's head and no one said anything.
It was a dream.
No, it wasn't a
It's
dream
metaphorical.
like you all have. Because I
Well-
was in it too, and I don't dream.
Well, I know, but it
whatever-
was still.
Wherever
it
we
was...
were, yeah.
Semantics.
But whatever happened in there is clearly affecting Sarah now, and this is very real. Or at least I hope it is. It's just
And
be
how
too
do we-
confusing if it's not.
How do we get it out of her head then?
I
I
already
think we need to
tried
go
the
find a
magic-
cleric.
yeah. A higher level.
We find that at Candlekeep as well, or do we need to head somewhere else for that?
Candlekeep is more academic than.
I think that's a tomorrow contemplation. I think all we need to know right now is we can't really do anything about it right now.
True.
At least I don't think we can.
Unless
I
you
don't think
do
I
have
can.
temples in Baldur's Gate, I can inquire around tomorrow.
There are. Like we can go.
Can I cast Detect Magic again, looking for that scrying thing?
Certainly, go ahead and make a perception check.
Yes. 23.
You do, in fact, see that same orb.
Give it up!
Oh no, it's back.
It is sitting above Murdoch.
Oh, I hate that.
What, Art? Is it back?
Yeah. Murdoch, it's taken an interest in you.
Well, you know what?
I don't. Alright.
Take an eye full of that.
Is there something we
Uh,
can do to prevent this from happening? Like some sort of protective spell or umbrella?
Ella.
Hey,
Hey.
That would have been a wonderful thing to. That would have been a wonderful thing to speak to my boss about, but unfortunately, he has moved on to the next thing, and will not be offering me any more help for quite some time, I'm afraid.
Well, from what I know of him, he's probably just sleeping somewhere.
That's most likely what he's doing, but I'm hoping that he will actually go investigate what I asked him to. Maybe that's something else that can be spoken of with temples.
Yeah.
Or I can
Get somebody to make some sort of magical trinket. I'm this sort of magic I'm really not familiar with.
making any sort of magic anything tends to take a while, but perhaps maybe some scrolls could be procured. There's all manner of things that pass through Baldur's Gate. It's not unlikely that we couldn't find something, either in here or in Little Calamsham. They have curiosities as well. So maybe it's starting to sound like Baldur's Gate is going to be the destination for some time. To see if we can get any more use out of her. So, why do I feel like I'm sweating? I don't sweat. I'm a reptile.
You're sitting too close to the fire, perhaps.
I'm also resistant to fire. Normally, I
Mm.
don't feel hot anywhere. This is all wrong. What wine did we order?
It was a gift
house
that
wine.
the
The house gave to us.
it made my brain go a little funny too. I mean, I think I'm alright, but I'm a little fuzzy in places.
Perhaps I just don't have the holdover that I used to back in my 20s.
That sounds a
Now
little
you
bit
drink.
more
Now you
apt.
drink one and you're tired and you want to go to bed. Well, Lydia, are you still going to walk me home? Are you able to? I know you're a sailor. You're probably fine.
I'm good.
What about staying with us, leaving nobody? I mean, I know you deserve it and all, but
Yes. All right. Does someone have extra space? Who
well,
has?
we have 3 rooms and 6 people.
Me and
All right.
probably me and Mum. We are
Oh, right, I
gnomes.
forgot about your mom.
We're tiny.
She's just not around,
Hey.
not down with us, kind of haven't been around a whole lot. I don't know. I'm gonna blame the wine.
I can.
I was about to say, the wine has made you quite rude.
How far of a walk is it to?
Maybe that's why I'm feeling weird.
I'm another I'm like a district away.
Yeah, you're a district north.
Take you home,
Northwest.
Murdoch, if you feel more comfortable there.
No. I should at least for now. I'll have time to go home. I can go home in the day. Besides, it's kind of lonely. I've
No.
kind of started. I don't know.
I would have stayed
I
on
don't-
your floor, or your large couch, or your large carpet, or your large something large.
Dear, I'm afraid to tell you, I don't have a large anything. I
Oh.
sleep in a twin.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
quite modest. I don't quite like the camping still, but I've taken to having someone around. I'll just buy. Do they have another room, or did you get all of the free ones?
I don't remember, but I know we got 3. So
I'll lean over to the bartender and go. I'm not asking for more to drink. Do you have another spare room?
Yeah, they can get you another room.
All right. How much is it? Gotta find my granny purse.
He looks over and looks at the state that the group you're in and just goes, just hands you a key. Don't worry about it.
See, you're good to Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate will be good to you. Thank you. I go sleep. Cause she's gone. She's indulged.
As you watch as Murdoch starts to head off, Artemis, you notice that the little glow that you had seen pulses, and this time rather than just sort of fading away, just goes like and vanishes in a puff of orange and red.
Okay. Is the orange and red significant? Have I seen scrying spells do that before? I don't believe so. Maybe once.
You've only ever tried to do this a couple of times, and usually you're used to seeing it just sort of like as it just sort of fades away and disappears. This sort of almost like a balloon popping.
Okay. Well, I think that's the revelation that's going to be had tonight. I am actually going to head up and actually have some sleep. Oh, actually, wait. Feria, could I have some money?
why?
The way you asked it. Can I have some money?
It's buy some spell scrolls and things for Mother, since she's basically lost her spell book and has to start from scratch, and it's a little bit expensive.
Well, can't you share spells with her? I mean, I know you need a book and some ink and stuff, but can't she just copy about out of yours?
I suppose so.
I mean, that would save you the expensive spell scrolls.
Could I have some money though? I'm a down to maybe like 50 gold pieces on my own reserves. I don't have a lot on me.
Well, I suppose so. How much do you want? How much? Never mind, that was rude. 1,000?
Sure, that would be lovely.
Right, alright. They go to 1,000. Duh.
I'll just like hold out my bag.
Start counting them in.
2. Please, sir, may I have some more?
I'll probably think like 10 gold pieces at a time or something like that. So it goes
She
faster.
takes out a little scale, and she's like, "Okay, one is about this much, so."
Doesn't have to
Ab-
be exact, it's fine, don't worry.
Gets out an abacus.
I'm in hell.
She takes out a checkbook.
IOU, bank contract, loan statement.
Okay, mother's maiden name.
Oh, no, so you gotta go.
Three personal references. Your employment
You
history.
gotta go to the bank. You gotta get notarized.
I don't think I can put pirate as a place of work.
Sure you can. I do that all the time.
Privateer.
You work with commission.
Sailor. Who
Wow.
takes money.
Okay, anyways, I have 1,000 gold now. 1,050. There we go.
Ooh.
Furia, roll a d20 for me.
Uh-oh. What?
14.
Artemis, you actually ended up with an additional 110 gold.
Oh, cool!
I lost count halfway through and I dug in one more
I was
time.
like, yeah, that'll be about right. And great,
This
you
is
guys
the
have a
best
portable
Halloween
hole
house.
full of it, so.
Alright.
As the group starts to sort of splinter off, now where is everyone sleeping? We have Artemis in a room with their mother.
I would, after dealing out gold, I would probably follow and sneak into Murdoch's room.
Okay, so we've got Murdoch in Furia.
Because
I'll
Sarah's
take one.
probably already somewhere, so I've...
Sarah just picked a room.
There might be people in
Suitable.
it. No.
Just gonna do that thing where those people that just the second they go horizontal and they fall asleep. There's no tossing her turn.
You mean an old person?
I resemble that remark.
I wish I did.
Yeah.
Lydia and Rose, where would you two be going? Would you two be bunking up?
No, I want my own room. I want my own bed tonight.
Okay, either way is fine with me.
Okay, so if you're in
Rose
one
is
room,
like,
so
"Yeah."
Rose, that either means you're trying to get into the room Sarah went into, or you're needing to go pay for a room.
Guess I will find. I don't even know which room Sarah would have gone into, do I?
One of 3.
I'll
Yes.
pick.
Well,
Pick
as you're
one of
you're
the-
all sort of walking up together, so you would be able to assume that the two that aren't, like,
Process of elimination.
yeah, Art went into one, Lydia went into 2. Logic
Okay.
says third one's gonna be the one that Sarah's in.
Okay, so I'll approach that and knock on the door. Sarah?
Me. Honk shoe. Me.
Would Sarah have thought to lock the door when she walked in?
I'm gonna flip a coin. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It never said.
We just flipped
Yeah,
a coin,
you did.
guys.
Okay.
Heads. Okay.
Sarah, go ahead and flip your coin again. Heads, you locked it. Tails, you didn't.
Okay.
And the heads have it. What do they have? A quarter.
Heads.
Okay.
Hey. Oh
I
wait.
don't
Aw.
know if I ever got gold from Syria either.
If I hear some commotion outside, I will peek my head out.
You guys have been keeping track of gold? I've just been thinking we have infinity.
We
don't
almost do, but no, I have the stash from the dragon in my bag of holding, and I've been keeping track.
Don't
I have
think I
personal
ever
currency,
physically got any since I joined.
You didn't get
You haven't
personal
asked.
currency? Yeah, that's true. You have enough.
Yeah, it
For
didn't-
anything, that is.
We did basically say if you want something, we'll buy it for you.
Yeah, we did buy your cool hand axe
Yeah,
saw
I just
blade.
didn't have any gold, so I like feel my pockets. I'm like, oh damn, I don't have any.
Rose.
Art, thank you.
Um.
You maybe have some space in your room?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gnomes. We can. Me and Mom can just like hang out
Gnomes,
on the bed and
dwarves.
just sleep, and you can have the other bed. That's fine.
Thank you. Sarah locked me out, and I don't have any gold, and I didn't know what I was gonna do.
No, don't worry. We got you.
Anyone who's gone to community college knows that.
And I'll head over to Art's room.
Or if your roommate snores.
So, as we
Dang.
prepare for our screen wipe for the morning, we will go ahead and take our break here.
Hey.
So we will be back in just a few moments, folks, as we top off our beverages and facilities and all that fun stuff. So don't go anywhere as we're jumping in. Apparently, the party's got some things to take care of in the morning. Conversation between druid and lawyer. I hear rumors of hunting a cleric. Well, let's see what happens. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. everyone. Thank you very much for bearing with us as we are all now topped off and lock, stock, ready to rock. We're going to pick up in the next morning as our party has all made their way to bed, some earlier than others. But eventually everyone awakes, get themselves ready for the day. I know we talked briefly on what people are planning on doing. Furia, you were planning on hunting down Murdoch and having a conversation.
Mind if I BRB real quick? I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta switch my upstairs computer. It'll just take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna mess up the layout for a second.
That's okay. Furia, how quick would you be looking to have that conversation?
Whenever Murdoch is up in the morning. I'm up pretty early, so I just sort of wait around for them once we get around to morning time.
Okay.
I'll come down and get a Bloody Mary.
So as you two start heading down, Sarah. I know you went to bed fairly early. What would Sarah be doing when she wakes up in the morning?
Come downstairs, get some tea and breakfast, and not cause any sort of issues. There's some
Cooking
milk in
breakfast
the-
or just ordering off the menu and just sitting and eating?
Oh, just ordering off the
Okay.
menu.
She won't even force herself into other people's kitchens.
I did that last night.
No, you paid your way. You offered to.
Oh,
Oh, right.
You offered coin to do it. You didn't just walk in and take it over.
Oh.
So yeah, as Furia and Murdoch, as you two make your way down, you can see Sigma sitting there, very calmly. Seems to be eating and enjoying breakfast.
Ladies.
We really need to do something about that.
I know. But I also need to get my faculties about me. I actually hate the taste of Bloody Marys. Do they actually work?
I don't usually drink in the mornings.
Well, what is it that you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, I think it would be best if we were somewhere more private.
So, like, back up to your room, or do you want to take a walk?
Maybe up to the room. It would be best. Maybe if a little less people that heard about it, the better.
Alright. I look at the bartender. Can I take this up to my room?
He gives a nod.
Thank you, dear. Ah! Old buns. Okay, let's go. Waka 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 waka. All right. So it's obviously something important.
Well, I've been meaning to mention this to you for quite some time, and then it became not very important since we weren't on this plane anymore. I would like to cast Detect Magic, just in case that other person is watching one of us.
Okay. Well, you don't see anything.
I haven't done this before, but I think I can do it.
As you look around, you don't see anything.
Alright, I don't see any eyes. Well, do you remember those suspicious oranges back in Daggerford? And Sarah lost her sight for a bit.
That
I think Lydia
remember.
did as well.
I remember hearing about it. That's when Snow Moon and I went out for tea.
Right. That was also that day. Well, right before that happened, I talked to the people selling the oranges, and I asked them if I could join the Centaurum, as I noted that they were. Careful. Wearing one of those rings. Oh dear, I should have timed that better.
Oh,
I know what you
Okay.
think about the Centaurum.
very much so. You know what? I'm sober.
I was about to say,
Um,
you probably sobered up more from that than the drink.
They are, by most respects, contrary to me as an entire person. I've probably connected most well with you than anyone else in the party, so I'm waiting to hear what the good reason for this decision is.
Well, I have a feeling it might be easier to find my family because I'm part of them, as several sources, not all agreeing, say that somebody that was within the Zentarum had something to do with those rings we found. And I'm hoping that being a part of them will help me get more information, or at least have access to more information about that. And I'm not joining them because I feel like whatever they're about, in front of what I've read, it's rather mysterious but probably not good, as they are fiercely not liking that one that Sarah joined a while back. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't joined officially.
Same group of 6 people. A lawyer, a Zent, and a Zentadar. Sorry, go on.
Well, I haven't joined officially. They gave me this box to deliver, and they said that they would probably come after me if I didn't deliver it. But I mean, it's been 2 months. So I don't know how that's going to go. I mean, I do have skills that they could use, technically, I'm assuming. So it's either find the person that they said that I should find and give them the box, and come with me, and hopefully get the outcome I'm looking for, or don't give them the box and see what happens.
All right.
But
Well-
honestly, Murdoch, I'm here because I think you guys can help me find who I am, and I mean, helping you guys out, find out, your parents, Art's mom, whatever's going on with Sarah. I mean, it's all fun. But it's not really why I'm here.
All right. Well, you are smart enough to know that if you're using them, they're going to use you right back.
Well, I mean, yes, it's going to be a two-way street.
And I appreciate the honesty. I see that you're following the contract. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. What if I could just... I've long envisioned being able to take the Manchun to court. That will never happen in my years, but oh, do I dream of it. There is definitely a theme that I found with this group, a sort of reuniting of family and a sense of personal identity. And that is a cause that I can always get behind. So, I give you the benefit of the doubt. And I appreciate you telling me. You didn't just make up this whole story just to sober me up. You've been wanting to tell me this for some time.
Well, yes, and I'll actually dig out the box from my bag of holding, and I haven't even opened it. Honestly, haven't really had time. Don't really want to. But have you heard of somebody called Kaylin One Eye?
Kaylin One Eye.
That's the person I'm supposed to give this to.
Where? Here in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, they said either at the Sorceress's Sundries, which I asked around a bit for and got directions to, or a dilapidated, condemned building that used to be a tavern called the Hanged Man.
All right. I definitely know the businesses, but I'll have to ask God if I know the name. God?
Yes, you have heard the name before. Not
right.
exactly one of the, I guess I'll say most noble people in the city.
It's Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's... you know the name from... typically, she doesn't mess with the people in the, I guess I'll call them the lower wards. But she is want to make trouble for the Flaming Fist and for the more well-off individuals.
Is there rumor that she's with the guild? Not the Zentarum, but the guild?
Go ahead and I'll say make this an intelligence check. Or
You're so kind.
if you have proficiency in investigation, you can use that.
I technically have a higher for investigation because I get half proficiency from being a bard, but I'm not proficient.
I'll let you do investigation then, either way, because it's a little bit better for you.
13?
You've heard some minor talk that maybe that she's been tied to both.
Okay.
It's again the more reliable sources ever flagged with the Zents. But there has been rumor of a potential moving away as, fates may be changing.
Well, I'll tell you this, but you probably could have inferred she's not what I would call a good person. Ironically, we do similar things and have similar goals, but we operate on opposite sides of the law for it.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard of the organization, that kind of makes sense. Or what I read about it, anyway.
Whatever a member of the Zentarum would be wanting to send to her, I would have no business with it. Her relationship with them is... I don't want to say being called into question, but, there was talk that the last I remembered, in some of my cases, there's been talk that tides may be changing. There's a local guild. We just call it the guild here in Baldur's Gate. They're the criminal, what have you. There's always one. But they're not directly tied with the Zentarum, though they have dealings, of course, between the cities. So you've seemingly found yourself the messenger betwixt two interesting parties. I will say that.
Well, it also might be a little more dangerous because it's been 2 months since I got this box.
That's also true. I suppose you can't just use the excuse, sorry, whisked away to another world for a time.
Well,
even if it's the truth.
Yeah, I doubt anybody would believe that, but I mean, you could try if it comes up.
Maybe they just think that you're dead and that the box is completely lost, and so you will happily turn up and
I mean, I was
Bygones be bygones.
very, very hard to find for the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
With
So.
a cart left behind mysteriously.
Yes. Well, I say deliberate. I would say keep your friends close in case they decide that they are going to then do away with you as a loose end.
I have a couple tricks up my sleeve.
You always do. All right. I will keep everything in mind. I don't know who I'm going around with today. There was talk about going to churches. There was talk about investigating abjuration magics. And I think, is Artemis still going shopping for scrolls?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
if Art's gonna go, shopping for at least spell supplies, we might wander by the Sorcerer's Sundries. That sounds like a store that would sell that sort of thing.
Mm. And
But,
I was...
the other place, I'm not sure where it's located.
The Hanged Man. I don't really go... I remember the... I'm thinking of the Low Lantern. The Low Lantern is the tavern that's also a ship in the docks.
Ooh, I want to go there. Am I there? Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't know. I just wanted to say I wanted to go there as Lydia. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I was going to say, if Artemis is going to get scrolls, or at least look into magic things, probably would require my help to just get a little bit of connections, and in the meantime, could maybe investigate some abjurant items or spells. So, if Lydia feels alright with finding a temple, maybe I'll go with Artemis. But I also want to see what Rose wants to do. I mean, this is a city made for her, let me tell you.
We also need some scribe-proof stuff for you, and maybe Art, too.
Can't go walking around in a lead-lined suit.
No, but we'll ask around, see what's available. You never know.
Well, let's gather our party, and
Maybe there'll be like a pill you have to take every 24 hours.
Ugh. What? Party? Adventuring party?
While you guys have been having this
Assemble!
conversation, Art, what would you be doing as you woke up? Would you be heading straight down for breakfast? Would you be talking to Mom?
I would be talking with Mom and seeing, like, what spells she has remembered, what spells I can help her with, and what she would, like, want to put into her spell book that I could, like, find.
So,
Or just having a little powwow, making a list.
yeah, so she's basically open for anything you're willing to give to her or pick up for her. What she was able to remember is mostly very elementary stuff. She remembered mage armor, shield, fog cloud, grease, a lot of very low level stuff. She did remember. She did have a couple of level 2s that she still remembered that she was able to put in there. Let me just grab information on her real quick.
What was that website that would always just give you the quick version of stuff that you could totally cheese for book reports?
Spark Notes.
Spark Notes. Gotta just find her a magical Spark Notes. I almost said Smack Jeeves. What was Smack Jeeves?
That's a comic site.
There were cliff notes. Where you had to buy in stores.
Lydia, your mic
Yeah,
is still
you are all
very-
robot.
You
I'm
are
sorry,
a
can you hear me now?
warforged right
It's
now.
actually kind of like you have a filter or something
Kinda
over
cool.
your mic.
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
The level 2s that you remembered were Arcane Lock
Mm.
and Detect Thoughts.
Ugh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but
Still
you're still the
robots?
same. Yeah.
As
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
we could
thing.
hear you and make you out. You just sound really weird.
It might need to be a turn off, turn on situation.
Is your mic hardwired?
No, it's wireless.
Weird. And that means the only guess I would have would be turn off, turn on, but while Lydia's working that, Rose, what would you be doing as you woke up?
She would just go downstairs, and you see her. She's like redoing her braids as they kind of loosened up overnight, and just heading down to the table for breakfast.
Okay, easy enough to do. Lydia,
Can you
what?
hear me now? Or am I still
Oh.
roboty?
There
You're
you go.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, good, thank you. Yes, I had to reset up first then.
No, we don't hear you like this.
Good.
So what would Lydia be doing this morning?
Going downstairs pretty early to get a start on the food. Eating it, not making it.
Yeah, so
I guess she'll see Rose down there and
you see Rose,
see
you
her
see
fixing her hair. And...
you see Sarah down there. Probably at this point
Oh.
just sipping on some tea because Sarah's been down there a little bit. It's probably already polished off her food.
I'll probably start helping Rose with her hair if she wants it. Just sit right there
Sure.
on top, and I'll get the other parts for you if you want.
Oh, sure, thanks.
And I'll say, Granny, we're gonna walk around today. We're gonna find a temple for you.
That's nice, dear.
I know it's nice, dear. So we're gonna do that for you today, okay?
Okay, so a little while goes by. You manage to help Rose get her braid situated, and you find the rest of your party and Mom eventually find their way downstairs and start getting some food together. And the day is yours.
Another dawn on the wonderful city of Baldur's Gate.
Of course, I forgot my notebook. I forget the name of the lead urchin kid who I made friends with from the other day, yesterday.
Oh, bloody heck, and I don't have him in front of me.
Okay, well, I just want to ask Murdoch if you keep an eye out for this feller. We passed him by yesterday, and I want you to keep an eye out for me behind him this contract for me that you've looked over.
Mm-hmm. I can do that.
Thank you. I'm gonna be taking, Sarah to the religious house ward, wherever that is. You can direct us there.
I know that, I think Furia was going to go with Artemis. Rose, what are you going to do today? Do you have plans?
No, I guess whoever thinks I could join their group today, if we split up, assuming to go to the and accomplish all these things.
I was most likely going to go with Furia and Artemis, but if you would like me to show you around the little bit more rough and tumble areas of Baldur's Gate and find some
Ooh.
entertainment for you, I think that would be also something I'd be willing to do. We haven't really
That
gotten to
sounds
do
like fun.
anything. We haven't gotten to do much in the way of activities for you, and you haven't actually gotten to enjoy much of the service on your actual home plane. So
Yes, you're right.
why not?
I'm still getting used to this day-night cycle. I'm not used to sleeping, waking by light.
Mm-hmm. It's sun's a real kicker. isn't
Yeah.
it? Well,
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Lead the way.
know that as a woman of the law, I do not approve of any of the things that we may or may not see. But if you chose to participate in them, I may turn a blind eye. Because it's
That's
also
the
kind
spirit.
of fun.
Speaking of unsavory events, I remember when we arrived here, there was that person that we all tried to apprehend. I don't know if anybody mentioned it with the heat of the moment and all of that, but I do believe they reverse pickpocketed a bunch of you. So if you make sure you got all of your stuff and nothing extra. I think it was Murdoch and you, Sarah, that they might
Sarah
have
never
dropped
told
something.
us.
I saw that as well.
Oh, okay, you saw it. Okay, I don't think
Yeah.
Sarah told us though.
Yeah, I was given like a whistle.
You
And I
found a
gave it to
whistle on
Lydia?
their person, but when they ran through, their arms went towards you and Sarah, so they might have been dropping things on your person.
I thought the whistle was what I pulled out of my coat pocket.
I thought it was out of theirs, because you asked them to give you everything that they
Oh.
had, and that's what they pulled
Oh
out.
dear. Oh no.
So
I'll have to double check.
if you
my
haven't
coat.
found anything so far, maybe do another check, but otherwise just ignore it.
All right. I will do it.
Since we're all going to be splitting up, I don't want something to go wrong.
Okay. That is very true. All right. So 3 groups of 2, and perhaps maybe we just meet back here for lunch and check in.
Sounds good.
That's a good idea.
I would like to make a point that I've nodded politely, but have not checked my pockets.
Can I make a perception check for that?
Sure, why not?
My passive is 17, but I will roll. I rolled a straight 17, so plus 7.
Yeah, so you can definitely see it. Sarah is following along with the conversation and is acknowledging everyone. But it's basically that's all it is.
Lydia, maybe you should check Sarah's pockets for her. She
Now?
seems to be agreeing, but not actually doing anything.
Okay, Granny, just hold your hands up in the air real quick. Leave them like you just told Claire.
I just smile
them up.
big. It just.
I'll kind of give her a pat down, like very gentle.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh boy. Okay, they're not that great. Investigation. Let's see. $13.
As you're sort of giving her a quick once over,
Mm-hmm.
you don't find anything you don't expect.
All right. Well,
Cups
she
and
seems
daggers,
okay
nothing,
right now.
nothing looks out of place.
I'll keep an eye on her though. You can put your arms down now. I'll move her arms down for yeah. Okay.
Oh, and Furia, if the purse is still open from yesterday, could I maybe have some gold too? So I don't get caught with empty pockets like I almost did yesterday.
Since you're sort of part of the group now, yeah, I could give you 1,000. Would that be good?
Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you.
Oh, when the bartender that makes like whenever normal people hear this,
You get some money, and you get some money.
Yeah.
but you like I don't know 1,000 weeks
1,000.
worth of wages. Would you just like
That sounds perfect.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
we'll go up to the side, and I'll
Several
give you
homeless
1,000.
people come
This
up.
time it will be exactly 1,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And Art, yes, you can do all of that. Yeah, it's just going to take time. So she could hang behind and do all that, but keep in mind it's an hour per spell level.
Yeah.
So it would take some time to do what you're talking about. And she would need to keep your book with her while she's doing it.
If you want to just go out with the spells that you got.
Wait,
today.
don't you have 2 spell books?
I do, but I never copied stuff over. So maybe
I know you
once
started,
Yeah, she
but
did
I don't think you
start.
finished.
Art's done some, but hasn't done a whole lot of it.
Maybe after lunch, I'll hang back and it'll just be like a magic study sesh, and that'll be good.
Okay, so we have. Okay, so it is Furia and Art who are going to Sorcerous Sundries. Rose and Murdoch who are wandering the mean streets of Baldur's Gate looking for trouble. And
fun.
Mischief.
and then we have Sarah and Lydia seeking the Holy Lands. So we will start with Sarah and Lydia. As again, with talking with Murdoch or the innkeeper, it's easy enough to find out that most of what you're looking for is going to be located in the temples area, as that is the catch-all sort of area where the majority of the religious locations are. The largest sort of, I guess I'll call it the largest, like temple would be High Hall, but that's not a specific one. Is there any specific deity you're looking for?
Oof.
there's
You
one
went
to
first,
Omater.
probably. And then anyone else.
Yeah, I think there's a temple to Omater here.
Okay.
Possibly. That might be one.
Okay. But you're basically just looking for the first one you find, though, or?
Like a nicer looking one. I'm gonna be looking out at the fronts and kind of being like, okay, that one looks like it could have a higher level, like not. Although Omater's pretty pious. I'll look at the Omater temple first, actually.
Oh, okay.
If Murdoch would have told Lydia that there was a temple to Omater there.
Oh, I mean, if I was gonna convert for anyone, but Bahamut, I'm just joking.
So, in the temples district, you know that the largest temples in the temples district are, and this is something that Murdoch could have warned you, or again, the innkeeper, is the Hall of Wonders, which is basically a temple and museum to Gondar, and then the High House of Wonders, which is primarily for the followers of Gond, but it will accept anyone of any faith who comes in looking for assistance. But yeah,
I'll go to that one.
Oh, okay. So as you arrive there, takes you a good little bit of time to get there, as it is almost clear across the city.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you find your way over. The directions you're given are very, very easy to follow. And again, as you start to walk in, you can see there's a couple of acolytes seem to be doing some light cleaning and information. Light cleaning and maintenance in the establishment. And you do see a couple of individuals look to be wearing their clerical robes. And you do go ahead and make a religion check.
Ooh. 19 plus 3, 22.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, as you walk in, you do actually see one individual that is wearing... As you're walking up and looking at this individual, you would expect to see more, like, priestly garb on this person. But you can see that their robes are actually made out of a very finely tooled leather. And on the center of their chest is a four-spoked cog that you would recognize as the religious emblem for Gond. As he is, you would know he is known as the, basically he holds dominion over, like forge and smiths, as well as knowledge.
Oh, cool. I would try to go up to this fellow and say, well met. Brother, I too am a cleric.
And he looks
Will
over
not of your order.
gives you a little bit of a smile. Welcome, doors are always open to the faithful. How can we be of assistance to you, sister?
Thank you. It's my friend here, and I'll kind of pull Sarah from probably where she's staring out into space into like in front of me, and I'll be like, see, she's not quite right in the head. She's a little flitty floaty. What were we calling it? Not all the way there. Sometimes, most times, all the time now, really. She used to get into a lot of trouble, you see, and now she doesn't do that. As doesn't sound like a problem, does it? It's a problem, I assure you.
And you can see there's a slow smile is starting to come across his face a little bit. Yep. You're not really good at this part, is it? There's a problem with your small friend.
Yeah.
Let's take a look, shall we? Ma'am, do you mind?
I know a little, but not enough to help her out right now.
No. Don't mind.
Oh, thank you. And it's gonna go over and start spending a little time just sort of poking and prodding at you a little bit. You can hear he starts muttering, and he reaches up and goes inside this. You see him pull out, and both of you notice it is a beautiful silver necklace, and it has this large cog. It's the same emblem on his chest. He reaches up and he holds it, and he starts muttering to himself a little bit. And after a couple of minutes, he opens his eyes and reaches out and sort of brushes a little bit of hair from your forehead, Sarah, and sort of crouches down a little bit to look you in the eyes. It seems there's something weighing on you. Had a bit of a rough experience recently, it seems. Do you remember it? He leans a little closer to you, Sarah.
I do, but I just don't mind.
He slowly gets back up and reaches down and just sort of almost condescendingly pats you on the top of the head a little bit. I think I was able to commune with my lord, and thankfully he provided us a little bit of information. Your friend. has, I suppose we'll say, cracked her anvil.
Oh.
Gauntisms.
She's rather not home, as you said. There is a way to fix it. Just requires a ritual. It shouldn't take us long, although it does. And I hate to say this, some of the components for this are somewhat expensive.
Would I know what the components were off the top of my head by any chance?
Go ahead and make a. I'll say a wisdom check, because clerics are wisdom-based casters.
Okay. Just want to open another window. 12. Total.
So-
12 total.
Oh, total! Wow, total 12.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let me just see here. I'll make sure I give you the right cost for this and the right item. Okay. Come on, you silly git. Okay, as he says this and starts going over this with you, he looks. You can see him look down a little bit at his feet. The diamond dust, in order to cast the ritual, costs 100 gold pieces.
I can gladly provide you with that, and more donation towards your temple if you see her right.
Oh,
And I'll give him some coinage for his towards him.
as he looks at, yes, I hate to ask, but it is. We don't.
No,
get
I
quite as
understand components and all. It's fine with me.
Oh.
Just anyone that can help her. Really.
many. So as he as he sort of comes over to you, Sarah, says, would you come with me? I'd like to have you lay down over here for a few moments.
Okay.
I follow him.
And he brings you over, and basically as you lay down on this, basically it's a glorified bench. And there's one moment and goes and runs off and disappears.
I'm gonna whisper to Granny. Despite what we've all said jokingly, we really will be glad to have you back. And I'll give her a kiss on the forehead.
There's no reaction.
I know.
And after a few moments, he comes back over, and you can see he's come over. He's got what looks to be a small pouch of something in his hand and a small hammer. And he comes over and sets things down basically right above her head on this bench. So think of it like a laying on at a chiropractor and about to adjust your neck. He's looking down at Sarah's face. As he goes, he sets the stuff down, then actually takes you by the elbow and tries to pull you back a little bit, Lydia, away from her.
Alright, I'll go.
He leans in very closely to you and he says, now, as I mentioned, your friend has suffered. Basically, she has... whatever happened fractured her mind. She has gone mad. What I'm about to do will remove the insanity. It will not remove what happened. I do not know how she will react.
Probably unfavorably. Do you have a shield with you, just in case?
And do you think I need one? I did not bring one.
You know what? I'll just stand a little in front of you with mine. Just in case.
He steps a little back. He seems a little more nervous about this now, but
No, she'll be fine. She'll attack the shield. She goes after big shiny things, I think. I'm not really sure.
Vision is based on movement.
It's okay. Yeah.
make a persuasion check.
Oh, no.
I'm not really sure.
Okay. Persuasion. Do I have anything with persuasion? Okay, 12.
It's better than him. So he gives you a little bit of a side eye, but proceeds to head back over.
Okay.
And as he looks, he reaches down and sort of grabs Sarah by the top of the head and just sort of, like, almost model poses her head to make sure that her, like, everything is nice and straight. Picks up his hammer, and you can hear him, takes his holy symbol out, holds it to the edge of the hammer, starts muttering to himself a little bit, takes out the little pouch of diamond dust, and as Sarah's head is, Sarah's laying there, takes the diamond dust and starts to pour a small pile of it on Sarah's forehead. He watches, he's pouring it, and he starts tracing out with it this emblem, somewhat crudely, of the cog again. You hear him whisper something, and then the head of the hammer starts to glow with this soft, radiant light. As he then takes it and presses the end of the hammer down onto Sarah's forehead. And you watch as the light radiates out through all of the diamond dust on Sarah's forehead. And then you watch as it just sort of pulses a couple of times and almost seems to sink into Sarah's head. And Sarah, all of a sudden, this apathy that you've been feeling about everything is gone. All of the repressed emotion that you've been feeling for the last couple of days.
Oh, we gotta end the game right there.
The dam bursts.
Oh. I just pick her up and hug her. Big
I
bear
sob.
hug. Big
I
bear
sob
hug.
into Lydia's
Yeah.
arms.
Oh, it's okay. Gonna be okay.
There's more crying.
As the sort of like seeing that you were rushing in, he's moved his hammer back. He just very lightly reaches out and pats you on the back a little bit, Lydia. I'll let you two be.
Thank you. We'll be out. We'll see you before we head out.
And he's gonna step away.
Okay. I'm just gonna continue to hold Sarah for as long as it takes.
I was gonna let you end the scene, Matthew, but
Oh, what? Wasn't sure. I know Sarah's been a little forcibly tongue-tied. So with that, we will pan over then, and we will jump to our next group of Murdoch and Rose. So Murdoch,
Yeah.
where exactly are you planning on? Well, not exactly. Like, where are you planning on leading Rose to? What areas of town are you thinking?
Well, so it might actually end up being outside of the city proper. I want to know, because while Murdoch can understand something like a non-lethal fight club would be illegal and wrong, she also knows that the greater evil shall always be the bourgeoisie and the flaming fist. So I want to know if maybe there's been a non-lethal fighting ring or something rowdy like that, like a speakeasy kind of thing. That maybe I've helped with, like getting around the flaming fist that I could take Rose to, because I think she'd like it.
Oh yeah, Murdoch can definitely have set something up like that. Let's see here. Where do we think?
Look, I like to fight with my words, Rose, but sometimes you gotta fight with your fists. And as long
Couldn't
as
agree
there's
more.
as long as there's no one dying, I'm honestly okay with it. And I'm also not going to let the Flaming Fist take extra fees from it. So let me see if I can get you some entertainment.
Point the way.
Let me see if I can get you some entertainment Baldurian style.
Ah,
So what we'll do is we will say that you would have set this up. Actually, let me take a quick look at my notes on this from last time. Okay.
oh. How
Okay,
does this work? Do we use fists? Do we use our own weapons? Do we use practice weapons? What?
I think most of them are fisticuffs. Are you good with your fists?
I'll give it a try.
Most are fisticuffs, or probably at best you could find blunted. It's a lot easier to just go at it with knuckles. So they always have good drinks.
so
And better.
what we'll say is, Murdoch, you would have set this up, again, keeping it away from the Flaming Fist, would be something set up in Tumbledown, as it is not frequented by a lot of people. It's outside the lower city, and, it has its own shady rumors based on things that happened with the family that ran the area. So it's things you don't find a whole lot of people unless they're going out there for a purpose.
All right, we're going to be leaving the city proper. Come to Tumbledown, so that we can
Okay.
tumble down. Or you can. I'm not going. I'm not going to be punching any jaws today, but I will watch.
Whoever fighting, they're the ones who are going to be tumbling down, not me.
There you go. You might be able to turn that 1,000 gold into a little bit more.
Ooh,
Ooh.
interesting.
All right. I will take her out there, and if I know the guy, and I'm like, hey, remember when I helped you from getting shut down with political loopholes? I want her to. She wants to fight. Let her in.
Easy enough. Again, Murdoch, knowing the law the way she does, is definitely able to aid in acquiring the property, making the necessary arrangements to get people to come in to modify it, so that it's still, the property itself still looks like a half burnt down building. But you go inside, you move this one piece here, and it opens down into this sort of very prohibition speakeasy type feel to it. As you're heading through, and the individual that you run into that is actually managing, is out front, is a roughly 30-ish year old halfling. Goes by the name of Raziner. And
Trent Reznor from the hit band 9 Inch Nails?
Sure, why not? And as you see Zakan, you two have a quick conversation, and basically drops in the lever up top. And the first thing that you notice when you're walking in, as his basically we'll call it his head of security is a rather beefy looking half orc that you would recognize as someone you also helped. Is he got a little too rough once with one of the patrons acting up in removing them. His name is Cran. So as Cran sees you walking in, finally coming back.
I have been away for quite some time. How are you doing, Cran?
They don't let me fight as much anymore, but still good occasionally.
I hope that you're not going to make it hard with any sort of outstanding medical bills, are you?
Oh, not any more than last time. I mean, he was able to walk a couple weeks later. It wasn't that bad.
Cran, you don't change, but that is fine. I'm not here for lawyerly business. I'm here with a friend. This is Rose.
Oh, I got a little bit of something in her, ain't there?
Well, she can speak for herself on that.
Yes, I'm ready to. Here, there's a tournament here. Sorts.
Tournament's in a few days, but we always got something going on. There's a bunch of people down there. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get yourself a drink, and then let the bartender know if you're interested in putting your name in the hat, and he'll pull some folks out and see who fights.
Right, will do. Thank you.
You guys down, and you can see it as you start looking around the room. Again, very sort of speakeasy vibe to it. There's just along one wall, and it's got to be probably 200-300 feet long, is just bar front with 3 different individuals working behind it, and it is just lined with bottles. You can see there's a few people sitting around, and beyond the extended bar, the next thing that catches you is middle of the room, set about 15 feet down, is a massive sand and gravel pit. Large circular stones around the edge. And you can see as you're walking in, there do appear to be 2 individuals fighting in it right now. Looks to be a human, and if your best guess would be maybe a half-elf. And they are just going to town, punching, kicking. You can see that there are a couple of others that are watching the fight. What are both of your passive perceptions?
11.
10.
Okay. Yep. So that happens. Anything else you'd be doing?
Walk up to the bar.
Okay.
Barkeep. Did I get an ale?
I suppose. If you want, we got a whole bunch of them.
I guess any recommendations?
Well, depends on what you're here for. You here to fight or you here to drink?
A little bit of both. Have an ale or two, and then
Okay.
try my hand in the ring.
Oh, no, just... What's your name?
Roswin. You can call me Rose.
Okay, Rose. R-O-W-S. Okay.
Just kind of snicker, but not say anything.
Well, it's a gold a drink. If you win your match, you don't pay.
Right. Start with 1 ale, and what do I have to do to get into the ring? Anything in particular?
He holds up the scrap of paper that now has Rose written on it. You just did. He drops his name.
Okay
on
then. Here's. I'll grab my ale and turn to watch the fight that's going on.
Okay. So we will pan quickly over to our other group who is heading off to Sorceress Sundries. So, Artemis and Furia. As you approach this establishment, the first thing you notice about it is it stands out in this part of the city, as the building itself is a large circular building with a massive, like the roof of it is just a massive dome of stained glass. And easy enough as the two of you approach. You're heading in, or
I'd probably stand outside a little bit like, whoa, I really wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Murdoch had me thinking that most of the city was a little bit run down, but alrighty then.
After you.
Okay. What are you looking for, anyways?
I just didn't want you to go alone.
Okay. Oh, fine then. And I'll scuttle in.
okay. So as you as you head in, the very first thing you notice is standing behind the counter is an older human male. It's very almost a royal purple like undercolor to his robes, red on the shoulders and a little strip of red in down the middle portion of it. See, looks at the group of you, the two of you coming in. Oh, welcome to Sorceress Sundries. How can I aid you?
Well, was looking for just some spell scrolls.
Oh, but of course you've come to the proper place then. We are
Oh,
the
good.
largest retailer of arcane implements and artifacts within the city.
Wonderful.
Oh, what in
Oh.
specific are you seeking?
Well, I have a list. Can I just like give these to you?
Sure.
Okay. But in character, I will reach into my pack, rustle around, and find a torn piece of paper that is my list.
Okay. And well now. That is interesting.
I don't like that.
That is very
Okay.
interesting. And as you see, as he's sort of scanning through this list, he's like, yes, yes, yes. Everyone asked for that one, of course. Yes, I think so. With these last two. He's looking at you for a few moments.
If possible, Artemis would shrink small.
And he is like, as you're saying this, you definitely have this strange feeling from him as he hands the list back over to you and says, "Well, the first 6 from the list are easy to come by. I have all of them present.
Good. Wonderful. It's not...
The last one is a rather powerful spell, though. I think I could let the 6 of them go. Shall we say 1,250 gold for the 6?
And I look up at Furia. I almost have enough, but I have like a couple 100 extra just to get those.
Art, tell me one thing first.
Yeah.
Is your mom going to stay with us and help us out? Or are you doing this just because she's your mom?
Well, some of them are for her, and some of them are for me. They look at the list. 3 of them are for her, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rest of them are for me.
Also, is this everything that you need? Does this include spell components? Or candles? I don't know.
Candles I have. The spell components were good. This is basically what I came here for.
Alright, well, I'd like to ask him if he has something before.
Of course.
Do you have anything that can prevent scrying on somebody?
He thinks for a couple of moments. Is it that there are certain spells that will prevent it for a while? There are some arcane items that will make an individual harder to detect. But that would only... So let's use the 2 of you as an example. If you are wearing said item, they will not be able to find you. But they could scry on this individual. And if you're standing beside each other, they are still gaining the same information. Things of that nature, in terms of lasting permanent protection, are extremely expensive. And again, work best when you are a solitary individual.
Well, yeah, it's not ideal. We're a rather large group of people.
But there are things like there's a spell, a wonderful wizard by the name of Leomund came up with it. It's a small hut that, again, used will provide a certain amount of time, I believe it is 8 hours, that protects you from outside magical interference.
I look over at Art.
I mean, sure. If you have that, then I'll take that as well. Sorry, Farah. We just usually stay in inns and
Well,
putting up.
we might need more of that sort of thing coming up if we come, gain enemies, I guess.
No, it does make sense. Okay. I guess add that to.
But if you promise to learn that spell rather quickly so we can use it, I will be fine with the rest of the stuff, I suppose.
He sort of goes through and okay, that is guess that would bring your total up to an even 1,400 gold.
I'll put up onto the table all the gold I have on my person, so it was that 1,000.
1,160.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will make up the difference from the bag of holding.
Thank you very. I'm sorry.
And as you go through that, and as you're eventually he gets everything down into his little box, and then proceeds to hand over your scrolls to you.
So, do you know where I could procure those other two?
He looks down towards you and leans way down on the counter. Almost down, and yet it literally getting his face as close to you as he can. And whispers something to you.
Okay.
Furia, what is your passive perception again?
17.
17. I gotta look at see if he's got a modifier. Because he has a 17 on the die.
Ooh.
Just a second here.
I really want to know these last two spells.
I'm so sorry, Furia.
Okay. Yeah, and he actually does, so you do not hear this. He looks at you and whispers in abyssal. Learn to count. And then, as he stands back up, I do not sell such filth in my establishment.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful talking to you. Thank you for the business. Wonderful. Excuse me. So sorry, Furia. And he's just they're gonna let you move around. Furia, just like kind of be on their way.
I just sort of give him a questioning glance. And as Art leaves, is there anybody else in the shop at the moment, or at least around us?
There's no one in the immediate area. There are a couple of other people that seem to be working in one of the far areas, but he seems to be the one who's manning the front portion.
I'll look at him and just, is Callan not in today?
You see a flash, just like a momentary start of emotion. Who sent you?
I have a parcel, but I was hoping to find her here.
She will be back this evening. She closes. Come back in 3-4 p.m. She'll be here.
I'll give him a nod and I'll follow. Catch up to Art. It doesn't take me long, but I'll...
Watch your little one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll catch up to Art and be like, what on earth did he say to you that frightened you so much?
I did. I'm looking over the spell scrolls, and just checking on. He gave me the first like few, and then Leomund's tiny hut. Oh, fine. Okay.
As you're flipping through, you find exactly what you expected to.
I just get really startled whenever people speak Abyssal back to me.
That was quite an interesting person, then, knowing Imbecile. What did he not want to sell you?
Some spell scrolls about demons and things, and
You know, Art, I think you might want to, tone that down a little bit.
I suppose so.
It might, get you into a little bit more trouble than you're expecting.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to be such a highfalutin establishment here in Baldur's Gate. I thought, well, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I guess not.
I've heard, lots of wizards and magic people don't look kindly on things about demons and dead, and they kind of have a bad reputation. So you might want to be careful, asking out in the open for stuff like that. I know you're pretty,
I didn't ask out in the open, though.
No, but you be careful who you ask, sort of thing.
I guess. Sorry, Fear.
Well, we got something to help our privacy, and you got some of the other stuff.
Yes. I will get right on learning that spell by that Leomund fellow, and yes.
Right. So, well, it's almost lunchtime. Let's head back to the inn, meet the others.
As you start heading back that way, as the curtain starts to close on tonight's session, the last thing we see is Murdoch and Rose sitting at the bar. As Cran comes down and is lifting someone out of the pit and sort of setting him over on a bench. And you hear in the background, "Hey, Rose, you're next."
Oh, all right. And she chugs what's left of her ale.
And that's where we end tonight's session, as Rose proceeds to get ready to head to the pit.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble.
As
You're gonna have to fight them with your bare hands.
I'm ready.
quite literally.
With your
Bare
bare
hands.
hands.
As poor Sarah is currently involved in the middle of a nervous breakdown. And Artemis has acquired knowledge. So thank you very much, folks, that have been hanging out with us this evening. We will be back next week, picking up right off with Rose and whoever this newcomer to our Tumbledown Fight Club is up against first. As they'll...
It's the master of past and present.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's Cran. A level 20 half-orc barb bear. Bear barb.
Oh, no.
Bear bard. Bear bard.
Barbarian.
Ooh, there you go. We'll be back, and so don't forget, folks, when trying to buy strange spell scrolls, be careful who you ask. And be careful when healing your friend's fractured psyche. As you're either going to get stabbed or they're just going to sob uncontrollably. I think we all were planning for stabbing, and I don't think that happened tonight. So join us next week when Sarah stabs somebody.
She's stabbing us in the heart.
I was gonna say it's gonna come later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you soon.